Viewer discretion is advised.
I have something to say.
No, God! No, God, please! No! No! No!
Shut the hell up.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of 3 Geeks Flix. This is the Tech flying solo, and I have a rant for you here today. Now, there's been a lot of interesting things. I've tried to do this a few times, and quite frankly, I think those other episodes weren't just meant to be, so hopefully this one will make it onto your glowing monitor for your viewing enjoyment. I'm going to try to stay as calm as possible, but we know how well that normally goes. So before I get too well and involved, Mr. Rick James, give it to me. Okay, so there's a lot of films out there that are near and dear, of course, to my heart and the muses, and there's been some word on some films that were especially groundbreaking, more so than others, that are possibly going back to the man that made them, and then he's talking about doing a complete reinvention of them. So James Cameron, everybody should know this name, of course, the Terminator movies, Avatar, Titanic, among others, is in 2019 going to get the rights back to the Terminator movies, and he is in talks with some individuals getting together, kind of making a brainchild to reinvent them, a trilogy. So a new 3-part series of films on one of the most epic properties that he's ever touched and put his hands on, especially, and let's take a look back at those films. The Terminator, 1984. 10 all around. Did things for sci-fi and the genre that hadn't been done before as far as effects, story, gritty, hard-hitting, edgy, just amazing. Did wonderful things. It's a fantastic movie. 1991. Judgment Day. I mean, what's not to say? The liquid metal was just so cool to see on screen. The time and the ingenuity it took in coming up with new things and new special effects. It was a groundbreaking film as far as visually. And plus, you got to see Arnie as the anti-hero. You know, the bad guy from the first is the good guy in this one. Just a great retelling. And even this is like the one movie that Edward Furlong didn't like ruin a film. So, quite frankly, you had like a unicorn here, okay? And it's a fantastic film. I can't say enough good things. I know this is a warm blanket, a clutch, and everything in between for the muse. And myself as well. And then you get to 2003, Terminator 3 Rise of the Machines. To say the least, the film was forgettable. It felt much like what had already been told to us. It didn't feel fresh, didn't feel real, and I'm really not going to go too far into it because you can quite frankly tell how my whole demeanor from this film alone talking about it has just kind of gone bleh. But then let's jump forward to 2009, and you have Mick G's Terminator Salvation. And I know a lot of people are like, oh, Mick G. I mean, come on. Cameron left after 1991. Judgment Day. That's the reason 3 sucked. And everybody, I've got people sitting there saying, I wasn't a fan of Salvation. Oh, I didn't like Salvation. I really thought Salvation was a fresh new look on the series, okay? It gave us a look of things after Judgment Day. And I really think that they could have taken and ran with it and made something really great with it. And unfortunately, they didn't because it was a solid film. And it had some great actors in it and actresses. So that's why I was so saddened in 2016 when Genesis came out. And quite frankly, Genesis looked good on the surface, but it did not deliver. It didn't deliver. The acting didn't feel up to par. And really, they took and they tried to change things too much. And they took a beloved hero and made him some monster and half machine, and it just really, it took turns down roads that you should have never have damn well gone. And so now we have to stop and honestly and objectively look at this and think to ourselves, when is a good point to say that we need to stop? And even though James has said, if it doesn't feel fresh and it's not right, and to see if we can make it and make it happen, do we still do it? Here is my rant. Stop. Right there, dude. Just stop. You're going to screw with your legacy if you are not careful. And I know I'm going to have people that are going to be a little pissed off probably at me right now going, how dare you tell James Cameron to stop? How dare you tell him to wait? Don't do it. Everything he touches is gold. Well, you know what? You can't stop and objectively take a look at something like this, then you can't honestly give an opinion on it, all right? And I know, freedom of speech. Well, yeah, freedom to stick it up your ass as well. As far as I'm concerned, folks, the man, yes, he could make this fantastic. If he could get the studio behind him, the right set of writers, if he's going to direct it or produce it, I'm not sure which, and he can come up with this great new reinvention, I will be happy. I will be happy to stop, to step back, to look at it objectively, and give an honest opinion on it. But if you can't make this fresh, then quite frankly, leave it alone. And I think that Robert Downey Jr. said it great, that when he feels like his Iron Man character is no longer fresh and is no longer bringing it all the way, that he's going to step away from it. And quite frankly, James, that's what I'm urging you as a self-proclaimed critic, because yes, I am a self-proclaimed critic, but you know, as far as I'm concerned, everybody's a self-proclaimed critic as far as I'm concerned in this industry, okay? What makes you any better at saying that you know something more than another? I don't necessarily. I'm giving you my take on it, and I hope you enjoy it. So quite frankly, my take on this is, listen, take a moment. And when you're doing this, if at any time you're looking down at the script, take your pen, set it down, get up, look at it, tell it to go f*** itself, Twilight, and walk the hell out of that room and don't look back and have somebody burn whatever you had in front of you. Because I do not want your legacy tarnished. Please, 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 please. Your two films in this franchise are the light at the end of what has been a fairly bumpy tunnel these last few films. So really take a moment, take a second, take a breath, and think hard about whether you're going to do this or not. And with that, check us out on Facebook. 3 Geeks Flix. Give us a like, comment, holler, troll us. You don't do Facebook? We've got Twitter. It's at the number 3 Geeks Flix. Flix is, of course, spelled F-L-I-X. Give us a follow there. Give us a holler there. Troll there. Get involved. You are the third geek. Get on YouTube. Hit that subscribe button. Let us know what you want to hear. Let me know if you think I'm full of crap and that I don't have a clue what I'm talking about and that you think, Cameron is movie gold no matter what he does. Or let me know if you agree with me. Or let me know if you want me to talk about something else, or what my rant is on this, or what the Muse thinks about it. Because that guy can show up at any moment, especially on your doorstep with that sandwich and ready to serve you with a smile. So, before I get any more far into it and farther in the analogy, I'm going to go see what my dog is so pissed off about. And appreciate you all sticking around, and stay tuned to the glow of those monitors, because we're going to catch you next time. Good night.